item is worth almost double the amount that I'm requesting.
Oh, wow.
This is a fully pressurized space helmet, identical to the one that Alan Shepard wore in his suborbital flight in the Mercury space program. He was in the Navy, so this is a Navy version of the helmet. It is also identical to all of the helmets that were worn in the Mercury space program. So
Just
this is
sitting in
one
a
of the
room.
items that was just in the archive room. This one's in better condition than most because it came in its own case. But even at that, the case should be properly stored in a proper container. And also, this will be going on display in the very near future.
Fantastic. I can't believe you don't approve of the organizational skills that are being employed back here.
Any questions?
So how much money you want?
19,586.35.
Yep, I was gonna say.
And so you're saying that is roughly 40 grand right there?
It's insured for 50,000.
And I take it you have the money for your archive stuff?
Yes, the funds for this would come out of donation funding.
Oh, fantastic.
Still got one more to lock down.
What's that?
You got a couple more to lock
Yeah,
down?
I've got to work on this a little bit.
Oh.
It's easier to open than to close, is that what you're saying?
Much easier.
I will make a motion to approve the purchase of the MAM archive supplies in the amount of $19,586.35.
It's using donation.
Do we need to put that in the wording? To come from an anonymous donation.
I'll second
A motion by Commissioner Hardens, second by Commissioner Martinez to purchase the archive supplies for the Mid-America Air Museum in the amount of $19,586.35 using anonymous donation to the museum. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say thank you for bringing that.
And thank you for putting together such a good bid package. I appreciate that. The next is number 10, sports turf equipment purchase.
I don't have nothing to show and tell.
You don't want to drop a demo in here or nothing?
It's outside, how's that? Mayor, Commissioners, I come to you tonight to request a purchase of a Pro Gator for the ball, I'm saying for the ball fields, but it will actually be utilized park system, anywhere else that we need it in the off-season. One thing I do want to point out on the quote sheet, the model we're requesting is a demo. It's got, he said around 200 plus hours on it, but it comes with the full warranty, just like a brand new one. And I didn't know if you've seen the quotes on the other ones. You might think, well, another 2,000, we can get a brand new one. I'm either way. I've bought demos and never had issues with them, so it's kind of your decision. And we've got to have this at the ball field. Currently, we don't have anything to haul material since we have this new piece of equipment that we're lasering fields with. We have to either borrow the golf courses or get a dump truck, which just causes more damage to our fields as we're hauling this dirt in there.
Plus you'll be able to utilize this parks for mulch and...
Yeah, we'll do our mulching in the wintertime with the parks. If we have any major incident, we need it in the parks, we'll take it wherever we need to use it.
So it's going to be a year-round use vehicle?
It'll be used every day. I can almost guarantee you unless there's snow on the ground, it'll be moving somewhere. And this is a non-budgeted item, and Chris has gave us his blessing to use the equipment reserve fund.
After a lot of tears, but
So you're confident in this demonstrator just as good as getting us?
Yeah, I mean, I've got one at the cemetery that we bought in 2009, and it was a demo. It had 200 hours on it, and it's going strong. You know, I'd like to get one of these at the cemetery
Yeah.
eventually, but we haven't had any issues with it. And they're going to warranty it like a brand new one, and he told me if they have to take it back to Kansas City to get worked on, they will bring us one as a replacement. And it's going through Keating Tractor, but since they're not an actual sports turf and golf, they have to go through the only vendor in Kansas City for John Deere in the state of Kansas.
But technically, it is actually going through Keating.
Yeah, and all our parts and everything will come through them. So it's kind of local as you can get, I guess, with that type of equipment.
Chris, how's the health of the equipment reserve fund getting close to July for budget time?
Well, I mean, it could always
Be better.
but we're fine.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we purchase a Pro Gator 2020A from Van Wall Equipment in the amount of $21,772.47 to come from the Equipment Reserve Fund.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Martinez, that we purchase a Pro Gator 2020A for $21,772.47 from Van Wall Equipment out of the Equipment Reserve Fund account. Any discussion?
Are we about done buying for the ball field?
That's your decision. I can always bring stuff.
Well, it isn't just for the
This'll-
ball fields.
Yeah, I was going to say this is multi-purpose.
This will get us, when we get this, we'll have everything we need to do our job the right way. We've got mowers, we've got the laser grading machine. I mean, we have no way to haul material right now to our fields. I mean, we can do it in a Gator that's going to take, this thing will hold 3,500 pounds. Our Gator holds about 200 pounds. So,
A lot of trips.
yeah.
Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
And while I'm here, can I speak on one thing for the community?
Sure.
I know the mosquitoes are bad, and we are spraying as wind and conditions let us spray. But every time it rains, 10 days from that rain, you're going to have a hatch. So we've got a few hatches that have been happening, every couple of days. But we've treated every standing water that we can physically get to in this town, from the trailer parks, the drainage ditches. We put in excess of 800 150-day briquettes out, and every bit of standing water that Bruce could crawl to, he is treated with mosquitoes. So we are doing we're doing more than other communities are doing by far. And if people could help us out, spray a little malathion on their yard, and
That makes a massive difference for anybody that's having a lot of mosquito issues. It's like $9 for a bottle of that, and it goes a long way.
or if you've got standing water in a bird bath, dump it out. Any standing water is gonna have larvae in it, and that'll help a lot. So we're vigilantly trying to do what we can to control the mosquitoes.
I appreciate your announcement on that because I've had some phone calls about that. So
And I was on the ball fields today, and they about ate me alive, so, but we're spraying everywhere.
Yeah, T-ball or blast ball's been like a sport in and of itself to see how many times you
Right.
can slot how quickly.
Thank
Thank you very much, Brad.
Thank you.
Have an excellent night.
The next item is number 11, city bus.
Good evening, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
I'm here to go before you, Madam Mayor and Commissioners and Council, tonight to talk about our 10 bus stop improvements. You all should have a packet to look at. What I'm requesting for is the amount of $5,840.05. This will be for benches, 10 receptacles for trash, and then the concrete pads themselves. This money has been given to us. I did find out it's not a grant. It was an anonymous donation for that. So this will be the beginning of it. I will put and improve 10 of the bus stops. There's a couple that I have additional funds that are in there as well to make some ADA compliant pathways, sidewalks that some of them will have to have because in areas there are no sidewalks. So I will have to have a couple of that. I do have some funds in reserve that we can take care of that. There is no matching funds or anything for this. This is money that has already been deposited in our deals, and we would like to use that for the improvement of the bus stops that are in your packet.
Motion 5,000.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make a motion that we approve, I'll make a motion that we approve the improvements for the 10 bus stops in the amount of $5,840.05 that came from an anonymous donation.
I'll second that.
We have a motion motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle, to approve the expenditure of $5,840.05 for 10 bus stop improvements with the money coming from an anonymous donor. Any discussion? All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
I do want to let you know that this last month in May, we had 2,787 rides that were given through our fixed route and our on-demand. We are climbing. It is summer. Some of the school kids are no longer riding, but our dialysis patients is climbing. So we are hauling less people to school, but we're hauling more and more people to dialysis. So we're having an influx of that. The second thing that's on the agenda is the grant of capital for our minivan. You also have that in your packets as well, and the contracts as well that state, and it's off the top of my head, I know it's 7,600, and I can't remember the exact figure. That is all that will be required for the city's portion of the purchase of a new van for our on-demand, which a lot of our riders for dialysis use. And like I say, I can't remember the exact.
$7,878.40.
Okay, thank you, Connie. Thank you very much. And I got a big stack of stuff, but that one wasn't here.
So I'll make the motion that we approve the purchase of our 20%, an amount of $7,878.40 for this, accept the grant from the application for the ramp accessible van.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Warren, that we approve the purchase of the city's $7,878.40 portion of the grant application capital for a minivan with the federal grant. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. And I would like to also introduce Damien here. He is an Eagle Scout, and he has a bus stop that he would like to talk to you about.
Good evening, Damien.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Damien Brown. I am with Boy Scout Troop 73. I am working on my Eagle Scout project, and I want to do this at 14th Street. And I want to put up a bus shelter to help the businesses of Dillon's, Brown Shoe Fit, Westlake, Walgreens, Brahms, Ninja, and Pizza, and other surrounding businesses that would help. My shelter that I am looking into would cost $7,400. and I've estimated about $400 for a concrete pad to be put in. I am just here to ask for permission from the council to go along with this.
Where exactly are you gonna put it?
On 14th Street, over between Browns and
It's out on the street, from the street to the parking,
It's the bus stop
South
by...
side of the parking
by
lot of
Dillon's.
Dillon's.
right by our bus stop sign.
On the street, on 14th Street.
Yeah, that's a narrow street.
That's where they pick up people.
It's not very narrow.
It's 2 lanes.
Depends on your
pretty
definition of
wide.
narrow.
I don't know what it is, but it's,
Then you
It
have
may
been
actually be
working with
wider
a
than
local
normal.
contractor on this project.
yes, I have also been working with a local contractor.
If we were to move forward with approving him to go ahead and evaluate this, where would we be thinking that the money's going to come out of?
Well, that's his responsibility.
I will be going around to the businesses around there and asking for donations of any type that they can provide me with. And if I end up getting enough money, I'm also looking into a light kit to put on it for the early and late bus routes. That's an extra $795.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking about abstaining. I was going to say, is Damien's been talking to me about pouring the pad. So I guess to remove myself from that position, if he's got 400 and pouring the pad, I'll donate that so I don't have a gain. So you can take that off your list for how much you have to raise for the pad, and I'll do the concrete and pull the permit.
And it's gonna be in the street though.
It's off the side of the street. It's off the road.
Right in the middle
There's
of
a
the street.
grassy island in there.
So would that be all right if I don't abstain then, Lynn, if I'm not making any money on the job? Okay. Just so everybody knows.
Well, I'll make the motion, we accept this Eagle Scout project on 14th Street bus stop.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Harden, that we accept the proposition of the bus stop on 14th Street. Any discussion?
I kind of like the idea, wish we'd do some more ourselves, you know.
I love the initiative. You did a good job with the presentation, and I appreciate all the hard work you're putting in for the
All in
community. Keep
favor?
it up.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck
Thank
on
you.
your
Billy, I
fundraising.
won my bet.
You won your bet?
Remember, I said it wouldn't be 90 days till somebody said, I wish we had more of them? No, I didn't.
Didn't last long, did it?
Next item is number 12, JCAPS board appointment. Christie? What's your say?
Good evening, Kristen.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. I am just here before you. I believe Alicia and Lynn, I talked with them on the phone. I hadn't planned on being here tonight, but I thought since I would just hear the town come up here. And we had Chris Carlisle resign from the JCAPS board, and our policy is to have someone replace her before we actually let her go, type thing. So Pastor Fuller, Persephone Fuller, has graciously agreed to fulfill Chris's term, which I think is the rest of this month and then 2 more years. And so I would just need your approval of that.
I will make a motion that we go ahead and appoint Persephone Fuller to the JCAPS board.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Warren to approve Persephone Fuller to the JCAPS board. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Since it involves my wife, I'm on this thing.
Oh, okay. Passes 4-1.
401.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next is the street seal bid award.
And since we had to amend this, Chewy asked me if he had to come, and I said, to keep my word, I said, yeah, I'll tell the commissioners that he was at a taco eating contest, so he couldn't come. But no, we went out for bids for the street sealing. It's on your sheet what all's gonna be done. The engineer's estimate was $200,000. We only received one bid, which we always know from B&H, for $180,717.50. I couldn't get them to cut to 50 cents. So we're requesting that for Part A of 13.
I make a motion that we accept the bid of $180,717.50 from B&H Paving for Part A of the...
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Harden, that we accept the $180,717.50 bid from B&H Paving for Part A of the street sealing.
What's $9,000 for traffic control?
They have to put up barricades in most places. I mean, that's standard on any street project, that you have to pay the contractor for the street control. And that takes all the liability off the city.
That way, if they improperly, if they don't mark everything properly and there's a fatality or an accident
If
because
we
of
have a flagman out there, I mean, it's $9,000 well spent.
Indeed.
Because it could give Lynn more than $9,000 in headaches.
Give us all more than $9,000 headaches.
It was normally on there, we just never did see it. We just.
Yeah, it's pretty much standard on
Yeah.
every street project I think we've ever done.
They just
All we
normally
saw
don't
was how
itemize
much
it
it's
the
gonna be
same.
per mile, and here you go.
This is more detail than we have seen.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. And you had a Part B?
Yes. Also, in addition, is with the soccer field and the Cal Ripken field and the Gold field where we put the millings, we want to go ahead and chip seal that. Those three parking lots, the total cost would be $50,540. Brad's still here. We get the parking lot is all we have left done before we can play soccer, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we're pouring the curb and gutters. We've got the wall up that says Lambert Complex. They're gonna put a gate up. I'm gonna say, well, the way the weather's been going, within 60 days, we'll be ready to go.
What was the dollar amount on that again?
The total for the three would be $50,540.
Is it soccer field and gold field and what else?
And in the north part of the Cal Ripken field that they've got leveled in the curb and gutter, we've got the millings in there. And millings, typically if you double prime them and chip seal them, you've got a real good parking lot. And we don't want to waste all our time. We've got a good base, we've got the millings down. The only thing with millings is they're not real oily, so they compact, but they tend to deteriorate over time, so if you chip seal them, it kind of holds it together.
And where would this $50,540 be coming from?
Special streets and drainage, correct? Is that where we talked?
Yeah, Commissioners, staff would propose of the three items that item one, soccer complex for $11,008 be allocated to the soccer project. Item number two, Cal Ripken, $23,600 allocated to the ball complex project. And item number three, Goldfield, $15,932 allocated to the baseball project. And essentially, all three of those projects, should we have the need, would be funded from the streets, drainage, and other capital improvements. But right now, we do have some funds available within those projects, which would help with these costs.
So we're taking this money from the soccer project up north and put it on the ball fields?
No, the portion of that, the $11,018 will be for the chip seal at the soccer complex. Same thing, ball complex project, baseball, and then So they'll deplete the $11,018 while they're chip sealing that, and then they'll fall back on the streets, drainage, and other capital improvements fund after they finish expending.
Yeah, each field is coming out of a separate fund. Or not necessarily a separate fund, but being a separate project.
It's a separate project, but the projects themselves are primarily funded from the streets, drainage, and other capital improvements fund of the 1 cent sales tax.
So could we just say from the streets and drainage?
Instead of individually dividing them down by the 3.
Just say Chris's piggy bank.
Well, that would work for me.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve moving forward with the chip seal project at the Lambert Soccer Complex, the Ball Complex, and let's restart that. At the Lambert Soccer Field, the Cal Ripken Field, and the Gold Field in the amount of $50,540 to come out of street, drainage, and other capital improvements fund.
Second.
And a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Warren, to approve the $50,540 of chip seal for the Lambert Soccer Field, the north part of Cal Ripken Field, and the Gold Field to come out of streets and drainage and special projects. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. 5-0. The next one is water line, item 14, water line bid award.
Okay, for the wastewater plant, JEG is setting up a batch plant out there so that we're closer for concrete. We have a water issue trying to get water there. What we have proposed, we went out for bids. This water line will actually come down, it'll extend down south on 83 from an existing line, and then turn and go back east in the easement. So it will be a permanent line that should that area develop, we've got water there. The proposal is that JEG is going to pay for half of this $17,575. The city will pay the other half, which would come out of water reserve because it would be a permanent water line. Actually, by the time we get done doing all the concrete, we will probably have recouped our money in water sales. Because I'm going to assume for an amount of concrete that we're going to pour for 2 wastewater plants, we're going to sell a lot of water.
I make a motion we approve the water line bid for the concrete plant, in the amount of $17,500,
No,
or $8,787.50.
Second.
Or half.
Okay, and motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden to approve the bid of $8,787.50 for the water line. Any discussion?
So you think that's something that we could use in the future to maybe sell water or like they do for a station?
I mean, here's the catch-22. We would like to think that economic development is going to grow and we're going to develop that east industrial park. So that, yes, that would be a viable source of water that's already there. And it will be in the easements, everything will be in right-of-way or easements so that we're not splitting any lots or anything.
Good deal.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. You had did you have another, does that take care of it, or is?
We would entertain a motion for an executive session.
Then we have Rash Pond on
yeah, I was going to say
Rash Pond,
National
Rash
Drainage
Pond.
Pond.
Sorry about that. Ding, 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 ding. As we all know, we purchased the property to buy that Rash Pond, put in a retention pond to help with flooding and drainage in that area. The engineer's estimate, because we'd have to haul all the dirt off, was $10 a yard, would have been about $450,000. National Beef needs dirt. And what we're proposing is they will go ahead and dig it and haul all the dirt off, but they figured their additional cost to do it that way would be $150,000. what we would, and I've sent it to Lynn, is we would amend our existing agreement on reimbursement to add that $150,000 onto their discounted fees for additional 3 months at $50,000 a month. So we would never actually spend any money out of pocket. And actually, based on engineer's estimate, that saves the city roughly $300,000. Plus, we get the pond now, or I mean, in the near future. We do not have the $500,000 that we can go dig the pond. So we would entertain approval to go ahead and let Lynn amend that existing agreement for those 3 months and go ahead and make this happen.
I will make a motion that we amend the National Beef wastewater treatment agreement to allow for the digging of Rash Pond.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Martinez, that we amend the existing agreement with National Beef to go ahead and be able to dig the Rash Pond.
That was Ronnie.
Right.
But
Second.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You got that, Alicia? Yeah, she got it.
Sorry. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
I move to go into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to KSA 754319B1, which is the personnel matters of non-elected personnel exemption under the Kansas Open Meetings, and includes City Attorney Kane and City Manager Calvin Burke. To the executive session. Oh, and City Clerk Alicia Hidalgo to the executive session. We will go in at 6:12, and we will return at 6:22.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Warren. All in favor of the motion by Commissioner Harden, signify. Any discussion? We'll go into executive session.
runner, by the way, Eric Thurman, who mentioned his trailer with Stacy. I did not see him come in. But Stacy is in here. For Emmett. Swing and miss McDonald out in front. But trust me, in a different situation, Stacy would have scored on that. He can really run. Seen enough of him already in the brief times against Park City to see that. Pitch. Sidearm pitch low in the dirt. BJ's lead 13-2. We're in the top of the sixth. Pitch from the right-hander, Chris Sanchez. There's a pitch up and in. 2-1 the count as McDonald ducks out of the way. John Soto will be the BJ pitcher in game 2. I think everyone anxious just to re-rack them and start another one. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right. It's hit well. That ranging back at the warning track, making the catch is Lozano. This time, Stacy will trap, tag, and score. Make it 14-2. So McDonald hits a fly ball all the way to the fence. In right field and drives home the run. Strangler comes through. So that makes the score 14-2, and that brings up Trevor Beard. Beard is pulled by 1 of 2. Walked twice. Line to center and single. Beard takes a pitch low, 1-0. Now 2 outs here in the 6th. Runners at the corners for the BJs. Stretching the pitch. Line drive into center field ahead. A run is home and it's 15-2. Solid. Single up the middle by Beard. So an RBI for Trevor, hit it sharply. Bounced once, I think, inside the dirt. Karen Bond into center up the middle. Here Shepherd's in first and second. 2 outs now, 15-2. BJ Baseball, thanks to our sponsor, Hill Can Drug and the Registry. And Little Animal Hospital. Also, Hatcher Land and Cattle. Shepherdson out in front, swing and miss. 1-1. Well, you really wish you could save some of these for game 2, but can't. We'll have up the BJs breaking through, finding ways not to score early with all the walks, but they have certainly broken through here later in the game. It's off the end of Shepherdson's bat, spinning over to the grass foul to the right. BJ's scored 3 in the inning and lead 15-2. He scored 7 last inning, so 11 in the last 3 innings. Pitch. Sidearm pitch missed inside. BJ Baseball on KSCB thanks to Keating Tractor and Equipment and the Saints Bookstore. Pitch on the way to Shepherdson. Outside, sidearm pitch missed. Game 2 will follow here in McPherson. Pitch, Chris Sanchez. Pop foul, backing out of play. Kind of clouding up again here now in McPherson. I want to call a few games here. Liberal played football here in 7, I want to say, an afternoon playoff game. McPherson won that one. Big check swing foul ball over the Limbo dugout to the right. And Seward actually played here earlier in the year in March in conference against Cloud on a Sunday afternoon. Never done a game in the roundhouse here though at McPherson. Pitch. Ground ball right to the second baseman. Race to the bag. Step on the bag for the out. Shepherdson hit that ball well, but it was an atom ball in that inning. But the BJs scored 3 more runs. They do that on just 1 hit. No errors, and leave a couple on. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Liberal 15 and McPherson 2. Livestock, or you're looking for financing options for operating expenses, here to have competitive rates, flexible terms, and service that is suited. Our sole focus is agriculture. Visit us online at agro.com. American Sharp's new MX document systems are fully loaded with advanced features to enhance productivity and improve document workflow. Engineered for performance, the all-new Sharp MX document system offers you flexibility, productivity, integration, and is user-friendly. Stop in at Southern Office Supply, 417 North Kansas and Level, or for an in-house demonstration, call 626-4300 for a Sharp copier demonstration. Southern Office Supply, your first choice for any and all office products. Freshman from UTA and Peoria, Arizona. Pruitt enters the game. This is 3rd game, 7 innings, no runs, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. He enters the fray, and it's 15-2 BJs against Sparky here in the 6th. Part of the McPherson order is out there. Some defensive changes for the BJs. Tristan Stacy stays in the game and plays right field. And Colton Moore is now playing 3rd base for the BJs. He replaced Strandler, who replaced Dickman. So, enter Trevor Pruitt from Sunrise Mountain High School in Peoria, Arizona. 4.35 ERA with the UTA Mavs this season. He's got a good arm. Promising future. He and Riley Boss both. They were the fanny pack bros apparently the other day when they're wearing their fanny packs in Park City. Yes, Axl Rose, I agree. Patience. Time to start the sprinklers. 15-2 BJs are in the bottom of the 6th. Tyler Brown in there. Looks like maybe a pinch hitter. Brown. And there's a pitch for a ball. It is Trey Yukamoto. So he bats for Brown and homered early in this game. The Pipeliners scored the first 2 runs in the game in the 1st. There's a couple of strikes, right? Another first pitch of balls. Pitch 2 is a strike. 1-1 to count. So Yukamoto comes in 6-22. Strikes in the pitch for Pruitt. Strike on the outer edge. They're coming off what was kind of a frustrating loss to the Cannons in Augusta. On Saturday, they lost 2 2-1, and we're 1 and 14 with runners in scoring position. That last time out, so there's a pitch low. Good break on it as he tried to get him chasing. BJ's 4 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 7 in the fifth, and 3 in the sixth. Mike Liner scored there 2 in the first on that Tyler Brown homer. Pruitt's pitch. Ground ball, left side, that's his clean single left. Yukamoto goes the other way and grounds it to left field for a hit. That brings up Jake Selko. Or we might see a pinch hitter here too. No, that is Selko up.
That's one of the
Is there any action to be taken from the executive session?
No, Your Honor.
We'll move on to the city manager's report.
Okay, I'll make it quick. I want to thank all the staff for being there and doing a great job, trying to fight the mosquitoes and keep up with mowing. It's really been a tough job this year. I mean, started in the wintertime, our winter projects, we're way behind on everything, playing catch up. You guys are doing a great job. I appreciate it. We had a baseball tournament. We had 9 teams in it, 6 of them from out of town. So we're getting there. It's going to take a while to build these tournaments back up because we haven't had any for a while. We do have the 2 state tournaments coming in July that should bring in, 16 teams? No, plus 2 host teams, so it'll be 14 teams from out of town.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make this sports tourism work, fill our motels, get people shopping here. I was at a tournament this weekend. I'm steady talking to coaches, hey, would you guys come to Liberal for a tournament? I mean, when you haven't had tournaments and people get in a tournament rut, we have to steal them away from tournaments. And we're working on that. And that should be all I have unless I forgot something, Alicia.
Well, I want to thank all the city staff who put in the beautiful landscaping inside the handicap ramp on the walkway at Mid-America Air Museum. They've really done a nice job, and I appreciate that. Will you relay that for me, please? And Damian Brown, I want to thank you very much for your observation that we need improvement at that bus stop. I go by there all the time and see people standing with groceries in the heat, in the rain, in the snow, and that is much needed. So good luck with your project. And come back and tell us how you're doing on your fundraising periodically. Okay, thank you. I need to announce that Mosaic is hosting a Partners and Possibilities event on June 25th at Seward County Community College, starting at 10 a.m. with lunch provided. And they would like for all of us to attend if we could, and call 624-3810 for reservations. Dynatest will be hosting a ribbon cutting open house on Friday, June 21st at 11 a.m. They want to introduce 2 new doctors that are starting at their practice, and they would like the community to come out and meet them. And I got an invitation from Fellowship Baptist Church for all of us to come to Liberty 2019. It'll be July 1st and July 2nd at 7 p.m. and they would like to know how many of us will be able to attend. So let me know if you will be attending. That's all I have.
Terrific. Thank you all very much to everybody who signed up to run for the different commissions and boards throughout the community. It's always awesome to see everybody step up to the plate. I wish all of you candidates the best of luck, including the 3 incumbents sitting to my right. Also, Damien, love seeing youth that have initiative. That's awesome that you're taking the initiative to go out and do this. I hope the project ends up coming out successful. I've had some time during my daughter's blast ball to enjoy our recreational facilities and fields around town. Everything looks phenomenal. You guys have done a terrific job out there. And I appreciate you giving the community an update on the mosquito spraying. I haven't actually thought they were as bad as last year, so I appreciate all the effort you guys are putting into that. As always, stay vigilant, pay attention, and hold your commissioners accountable. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Well, I think you and I need to trade houses. this summer.
Having a bit more of a mosquito problem over there?
Yeah.
He sent all his to your house.
I've already sprayed
I'm
my
thinking
yard.
so. I want to thank the city staff, everything they've done. I know they worked hard. Got the Arcalen. What was it called, Arcalen?
Arcade Assault.
Assault. I know not many people showed up to it, but, you know, maybe it'll get better. Move forward with it. And keep our finances, don't get us broke yet. Just more money. Let's see the rest, I mean, the hotels are getting a little busier with the construction going on, so that's a good thing. Economy will start turning maybe here shortly, and I think we have a few things on the horizon. That's all I got.
Oh, I was gonna, thank Damian too for his good idea. Probably, like I say, gonna make me be busier than I already am, but that's okay. It's gonna be a good project. I'm gonna have fun watching him do it. In fact, I was gonna ask him before, now I really am gonna ask him if he wanted to come learn how to finish concrete, so. But Cal had mentioned the tournament we had out there. We had Canyon City come in. They stayed 2 nights. Great Bend come in, stayed a night. Pratt come in, stayed a night. I think Ulysses and Guyman drove back and forth, but they all bought food while they were here in town, I guarantee. And I think they all showed interest in coming back. We're going to try to build that tournament, some for next year. But like I say, the state tournaments we have, the 14, 15U state tournaments coming up, we'll have a lot of. That's going to bring a lot of traffic because those tournaments take 3-4 days, and there'll be lots of families and teams here. So it'll be huge compared to the tournament that we just had. Also, of course, a lot of you hear me talk about baseball. No, I'm with the Liberal Baseball Association. We are first in line. I think the state's just about board for Babe Ruth is about to give us, but they're not giving me an answer now until September. But the 13U regional tournament, we're first in line for it right now, I think, for next year to host it, which that's, brings in Minnesota, North Dakota, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, Colorado. And they're talking about expanding it from an 8-team to a 10-team, which the more the merrier for us. We want as many as we can. And of course, we'll be requesting state tournament in some age group. I was thinking about shooting for 12s or something next year, but so we'll be shooting. We want one of the ones where we know we're going to get at least 8 teams. So we'll probably try to be getting like 2 next year too. And I'm not like picking on Jack, but I know Jack talks about spending the money on the ball field, but I want to know we've had a lot of money put into the ball fields here lately from the Baseball Association and from our public. The fence project, and most people are aware of it, was paid for by the advertising, or still in the process of being paid for by the advertising, but we're really close to buttoning that up and coming out even on it, and it's about a $34,000 project to complete that. And of course, we've had donations by the Baseball Association for the ticket building that we're still needing to try to get an agreement with when Lynn gets a chance for the Baseball Association, but also the dugouts, and not trying to say that Ron Warren Construction hadn't put about $15,000 to $20,000 in the ball fields in the last 2 years. But so I know the city has, and we're in appreciation, but I would say that it had been over 20 years since any improvements had been made at the facility. So if you figure it out per year, we haven't put a lot of money into the facility, but we're going to actually try to help get it all back with the tournaments and stuff. So, and I think that's going to be something we can do. So, other than that, it seemed like there's something else I was going to say, and I don't remember what it was. I talked too long now, so I'm going to just pass it on to Tony.
Also want to thank Mr. Brown for his good idea for a shelter. I always sorry, Cal, I thought that was something that was, maybe we needed to do. I see people sitting out there in the sun or the weather. I don't know, maybe one day we'll do more. We'll look at your model.
A lot of people just stand.
Yeah.
We don't
There's
have
not even a
bench.
place to sit, so
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have
added them.
the one shelter and 10 benches, hopefully before school starts. I don't know if you'll be able to go that fast.
Yes, I'm planning on doing it before the end of summer.
Okay.
That's great.
Fantastic.
Good.
And also thank the other two commissioners for also putting their neck on the line to run again. It takes a lot of your time and effort, so thank you guys. So, and I guess one thing I got ribbed about when I was out of town this week was Lambert Field, I guess the sign, it was paid for by Mr. Lambert, as I understand.
Correct. The sign and the wrought iron gate that's gonna go up was paid for and constructed by well, it wasn't constructed by Mr. Lambert, but he paid
so
for
it's a
everything.
donation.
There was no cost to the city at all.
Something about the lettering, Lambert, there's a small B in there, and I don't know if that's on purpose, maybe that's his signature.
It was his design, so.
So, it wasn't us, so.
Yeah, as long as he's happy with it, yeah.
It was
All the
his
letters,
contract.
all the letters were capital except the B, I
That's his
understand.
logo, I think.
Yeah, so I thought maybe that's his emblem or something, but haven't seen it yet, but.
For those of you that haven't, it does look pretty nice up there on
It's
top of the
really
road.
nice. It looks very professional. It really does.
Brad and Cal, you're going to kill me for throwing this out there, but I get calls on this every other day. I get something to flog me with.
No, turn the mic off.
Oh, okay. So at the softball complex, what is a realistic timeline that we can look at least getting some of the larger mounds of dirt that are in that parking lot moved out?
Probably not this summer.
You mean rocks, right?
Yeah.
Mounds of rocks?
Because.
The island?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the island.
The parking block.
Brad has a home for it, but the thing is, because we're so far behind, we've stopped this, hey, let's jump to this project because somebody thinks it's important. We've got to finish up what we have going. We've got to finish the project. We can't be one of those contractors that, hey, I brought a backhoe and a shovel and this job started and it sits there for a year. We've got to finish up Southern Pioneer. We've got to finish up some curb and guttering. We've got to finish up what we've got going. The ideal was to be able to do it, but we got a plan that we got to put numbers to that may look at changing the whole scope of that parking lot.
Okay.
Besides just the rocks.
I had one more question. When do we get into budget sessions? That's not too far off, is it?
July.
This will be coming up in July.
Okay.
And, with that, I'll be working with Cal, and then we'll be in touch with commissioners to try to look at schedules.
What days in July? Because we have to work around some tournaments in.
I apologize. If I could get information out, I don't have that calendar with me, but I guess staff would envision maybe kind of doing something similar to how we've done in the past. With involving department heads and kind of doing a day-long type session, all one day, get it done. If that's okay with the commission.
So are you thinking early July or late July?
I mean, I don't.
July-ish.
Well,
How about I reach out to
like,
commissioners and we'll find out.
yeah.
Can we have our books before the day we show up?
No.
No, that would make it way
That
too
would give
easy.
you too much time to think about it and have questions.
Yeah.
And something I know we talked about a little bit last year is, and I know we've all been busy and haven't had time to do it, and it was my comments, but it's not only in like streets and sidewalks and stuff like that, but parks or anything like that. I still really believe that we all also need to look into if there, and I'm not wanting any city employee to lose their job, I really don't want that, but but we also, our job, our responsibility is the taxpayers and the budget. But there's some things I think we still need to look into. Is it cheaper for us to sub stuff out, farm stuff out, than it is to have somebody doing it? Because I know we put some people, some summer help in some jobs and stuff like that, but I still think there's people that mow. Do we pay our people more to mow parks than somebody else would mow the park for us? And that's something we talked about in budget. And that relates to any other item that we do in reality, is because our taxpayer, and let's be honest, because we all believe it and we can't say it's not true that our people are overtaxed, but we don't really have a good solution for it, because to lower taxes you have to cut services. We're just going to have to start thinking outside the box, or in reality, a lot of people that want to look inside might just say, hey, there's not really much you can do about it. And that's really what you see when you get in here. But that doesn't mean we're still not trying to figure out what we can do about it. And that's what we still need to continue to do.
So maybe let's get a day and a half on the books for the budget session this year.
Let's do like we did last year. We had a day scheduled, and then we had a day in reserve in case we needed it. So let's do that. We didn't need it last year, but.
Yeah, like I said, I'll reach out to commissioners if everybody could, just let me know what dates you would have available in July. We'll try to get a consensus and, see if we can't get some times that work for everybody and go from there.
I'm available the entire month.
Thank you.
We'll make it work.
I got a funeral, I'll let you know.
Okay, can we approve the vouchers, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $778,418.25.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the vouchers in an amount of $778,418.25. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried. We are